My crew has been here off and on about 18 hours a day the last 2 days, and I, again, really want to thank the great job they've done with the second annual Money Bomb. I want to thank the listeners last year that had the idea to have a Money Bomb. It really has helped us grow, but now we're a bit dependent on it, but you've come through, and again, God bless you. And no matter what comes of all this, we can at least say we tried and did our best to fight the tyranny, but more and more, we are seeing the globalists get into trouble. And we're seeing calls in Europe now to audit their central banks. And all over the planet, people are learning about the private central banks and the fraud of fractional reserve banking and these shysters. And auditing them will only bring them down. And it will only discredit the fact that it's only an arm of the international system. That way they can't pose as saviors in the crisis they've created and set up the new bank of the world and all these systems that they've already set up, but they're trying to now roll out and implement with their carbon taxes, micromanaging every facet of our lives and controlling currency rates and interest rates globally. They can have one global rate or have regionals and play them off against each other. Think of the insider trading power that gives them. Just incredible. Okay, I want to go to your calls on a host of issues. Jason Bermas is coming up. Be sure and stay tuned for that. But I just wanted to add here with the Money Bomb that my crew is going to leave in the next hour. We got 2 people in there to answer the phones. A lot of people said, wait till Friday. So if you want to donate and be part of this second annual Money Bomb, $5, $10, $100, whatever, please go to Infowars.com, link through to InfowarsMoneyBomb.com. Or you can simply call toll-free, and there's 2 people in there sitting there right now ready to take your pledge or donation, 888-201-2244, 888-201-2244, to continue our operation if you think it's important, and to expand it. 888-201-2244. Unlike the federal government, we can't come with SWAT teams and force you to send us money to push our political ideas. If you agree with us and want more people to hear them and see us expand together, then 888-201-2244. Last time for the evening, here is the number. I don't know, Bermas may give it out later, but nobody will be up there to answer it. 888-201-2244. And there'll be some folks here in the middle of the day tomorrow as well. 888-201-2244. That's another reason we've got to grow. Our numbers are so few here that when we do need to pull double time, people get burned out in a day or two because there's just so few people. 888-201-2244 or InfowarsMoneyBomb.com. And again, I just can't thank you enough. Those out there that have bought the books, the videos, supported the sponsors, supported our local affiliates, all of it. You've made it possible, so thank you. Okay, let's go to the calls here. Let's talk to Howard in Philadelphia. Howard, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
You know, I'm thrilled to be on the air with you. I thought I was really calling Bermas. And I disagree with 2 things that both you and Jason do. I support you and I like you, Alex, but I want you to be even more concise with your language. I'll give you an example. I have heard so many times you say, we have a Second Amendment right to do something. And I know it may sound nitpicky, but I'm going to tell you now, we don't have a Second Amendment right.
No, it only points out our already inalienable rights that exist as free, sentient beings to defend ourselves.
Correct. But here's my
Well,
thing.
let me just stop you. It's easy, and I'm not criticizing you. It's easy, and I'm sure you've done a lot in your life and fought the New World Order. I'm saying when you're on the air and doing stuff and things are happening, I mean, I say all the time, we invaded Iraq. We didn't invade Iraq. The globalists who've hijacked our nation did, with a bunch of brainwashed mercenaries who mean well, a lot of them, but don't know what they're part of. And so that's what a volunteer military is. It's mercenary. So, you know, this is serious business. I know I semantically don't have all the answers. Listen, because I work too much. Go ahead.
I know it's serious. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Are you familiar with Dr. Eugene Schroeder?
Yes, from Colorado.
Yes.
I interviewed him about 10 years ago. I need to get Dr. Eugene Schroeder back on. Go ahead.
Yes, I would like to see you get him back on. I'm going to tell you exactly why. While we talk about the New World Order and everything they're doing, the reason that they have been able to grease these things through the skids in this country is because the country is turned upside down. We don't have courts that protect our rights. We have courts that usurp our rights. We are running under emergency powers. I have been doing this since the 90s, and I think that's probably when you started into this. Yeah,
I know the War Powers Act of 33 just reauthorized what happened after the Civil War, and we do cover it. It's all a fraud. But remember, a lot of these Patriot shows get off into the esoteric and things, and we do that sometimes. It's just that I'm talking to a wide, broad audience saying they're going to be spying your trash and they're training your kids to spy on you. Here they are admitting it in the news. I mean, I'm just putting out the basic message. The banks are ripping you off. They're running scams. But we are going to do more shows. I mean, I've had Red Beckman. I've had Schroeder on.
Hold on a second. I agree with you. It is esoteric, but it's important that people understand, because people are under the delusion that they can go into the court system and then they can affirm their rights. When they walk into a court, they have no rights. I've heard people call you up and talk to you about the flag, the gold fringe on the flag. And I'm not going to say you've given them short shrift, because it's a very difficult concept to explain.
Well, listen, I got to move on, but I appreciate your call. Also, I don't get into all that because though there's truth in there in the Patriot mythology, there's also a coterie of scam artists and frauds. I mean, so many of the leaders of the Patriot mythology, I consider naming them, I found out over the years would tell people sign up trust with their houses with them and they take their house. And so I don't have people on air that I know. It's like steering nice families into the rocks. And society's so corrupt, a lot of times we have people on and find out later they're horrible. I mean, it's a great moral responsibility. And yeah, gold fringe flag does, under military law and under U.S. code, mean admiralty. And I've seen federal court documents where they take people's land and say you're under admiralty and maritime jurisdiction. And it's all real, and we do talk about it, and we do have guests on. But we do a wide spectrum of issues. But you had 5 minutes, and we appreciate you calling. Let's talk to Mark in Oregon. Mark, you're on the air.
Good evening, Alex. How are you doing, sir?
Good, buddy.
Alex, I just want to congratulate you and really all of us on the success of this current money war.
It is a money war. It is a money war. I should start a website called Money Wars.
Oh, really?
Buy that URL quick. Get it. Buy Money Wars right now.
Okay.
I'm going to tell my guys before somebody else does. Go ahead.
It's an idea for you. Alex, it looks like the funds raised in the current Infowars Money Bomb will be used for infrastructure and personnel expansion predominantly. Are there other efforts in the Infowars that you have in mind which you would pursue if you had the funds at this time? And that's a question, and I want to make a short statement, and that's all I've got. But I was hoping in the last Money Bomb, Alex, as well as this one, that such friends of yours and people who have at least moderately deep pockets would have gotten together, perhaps conglomerately, and put together $1 million or $500,000 for you. And I just wish that they would step up to the plate, because really, proportionately speaking, I think people are giving what they have that they can spare. And I think some of the people... Well,
maybe people have, but they want it to be private.
I see.
Over $300,000 bandwidth bill a year. That's not getting paid for with DVD sales and radio sponsors. And I mean, believe me, and then a lot of the few big Hollywood people I know, and then some of the mid-sized people, I don't call them up and ask them for money. Listeners are always saying money bomb, then we get $10 from 4,000 or 5,000 people. That really helps us. But look, well, go ahead and make your statement, and then I need to answer the first part of your question.
Okay, well, please go ahead and do that, Alex, because
Okay, well, let me try to explain this, okay? It's one thing to imagine and dream all this stuff, but I don't just get a building and hire people. I've got to get them, train them. This is specific work. I've got to make sure they understand it. I've got to find the people, and as I get more film editors and people, that means I have to be sitting there writing up the film, telling them where to go, writing the questions. When I send people somewhere to go interview somebody, I have to spend hours writing the questions I want them asked, or I've got to fly there. I'm not bitching. This is great. To me, though, doing a money bomb or expanding is actually a royal pain in the ass, but I'm doing it because even though it intensifies the amount of danger I'm in, because I know it's up to us to do it, or who else is. But it's up to everybody else to do it. I've noticed with about 98% of people who are great folks out there, they spend all their time dreaming and imagining these big things they're going to build and all these complexities and committee meetings arguing about the structure they're going to create instead of ever just doing the basics. But it took me a year to come in here, set all this up, do this, and then get ready for the next phase. And so it takes time. The New World Order wasn't built overnight. We're not going to defeat it overnight. But I'm doing the best I can. Go ahead, sir.
That. Well, Alex, I'd like to commend Darrell Rundis for coming in and helping like he did, and just God bless him, and God bless you and the Infowar crew, and as Tiny Tim said, God bless us all, my friend.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Hey, you too, buddy. Let's talk.